What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 4 of our Pittsburgh Pirates MLB 21 The Show franchise. We are going to be getting in here today versing the 3-0 Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are just coming off of a sweep from St. Louis, so they're coming to attack strong, but the Pirates also coming off of a nice winning season, or not a winning season, but a winning series, rather, off of the Chicago Cubs. So things were looking pretty good. If you guys didn't see those last episodes that we released, be sure to go ahead and check those ones out, and if you do like today's video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference to today's channel, so your support is greatly appreciated. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into the video. Let's see what the Cincinnati Reds and the Pirates can do here today on the first game of the series. And taking a look now at Game 1, unfortunately, the Cincinnati Reds do just surpass the Pittsburgh Pirates in this first one. You're going to be seeing the final score was 2-1. We're going to be covering the Cincinnati Reds franchise part of this a little bit differently. We're going to be just kind of talking about the box scores and how the pitchers did, some of the notables and things like that. So that's what we're going to be doing for the first 3 videos. And then after that, guys, we're going to be heading into a little bit of a prospect highlight reel. We're going to be talking about one of the top prospects in our organization right now and kind of get into him. So we will get into that right now. But with that being said, guys, in front of you, you will be seeing the box score for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You will see one of the notable things that we did see out of the Pirates today, although we did lose, was Brian Hayes was able to notch 2 hits, only struck out 1 time. So the hitless streak of Brian Hayes is going to officially come to an end there. Brian Goodwin also did notch 2 hits, so both of those guys are pretty notable to see. A lot of other struggles, things like that. We didn't really see too much offense, and that's really somewhere where we know we need to improve with the team. So hopefully heading into the next games, we'll be able to notch some wins and really be able to take this series and really start strong with this Pittsburgh franchise. And our pitcher that we did select to go into game number 1 of this series was Mitch Keller. Unfortunately, Keller does get notched with the loss, although he did spin, throwing 6 innings, only allowing 4 hits on 1 earned run. Did have 3 walks, but he did strike out 7, so it was a really nice improvement to see Mitch Keller kind of come to form. We know he's been struggling, so it's really good to see that. Notable Chris Stratton also pitched pretty decent out of the pen in 2 innings, so good to see those guys doing well. Let's head right into game number 2. And it is also worth mentioning that Tucker Barnhart is going to be placed on the 10-day injured list with a broken hand. So obviously a catcher can't throw if he does not have a hand to throw with. So Barnhart is going to be out for the Reds for a little bit until he returns. And another player to mention before we head into game number 2 is Brian Hayes. You guys will see in front of you in 16 at-bats. He has only really notched a couple of hits. We talked about the highlights in the last game. He did start to come to form, so hopefully the struggles of Brian Hayes that was in the Cubs series can kind of start to come to form, and we'll see the Brian that we know he can be perform in these next couple games. So it's something worth be noting and talking about, that Brian, we do see the struggle, but I do not think it's something to really be worrying about. So with that being said, though, we do make one change into the actual team, something that I really was excited to see that we were able to do, and that is going to be getting into Neil Walker. And Neil Walker, talking about him now entering his age 35 season. If you guys did see the news today, actually, he did announce that he is going to be officially retiring from baseball. He gave a really nice shout out to Pittsburgh and a lot of other people. So I felt it was only necessary to sign Neil Walker with the team. So Neil Walker, this was a guy that put together a really nice career with Pittsburgh, and then kind of towards the later part of his career kind of lost some of the ABs, but still really overall a good guy. You knew what you were getting with Neil Walker. So we're going to bring him to the team on a $2 million contract. You're going to see in 2020 in Philly, he only played 18 games and 39 at-bats and really didn't put together a nice solid slash line. So hopefully he can maybe make a rebound and a little bit of a redemption year here in Pittsburgh. We're going to be utilizing him a lot. He's going to be more of a utility guy, playing first base and probably third base a lot, maybe even being in one of the corner outfielders. So again, we did just sign him for the 1-year, $2 million deal. He's going to be more of a depth guy, maybe even DFA him if he really doesn't perform well. But I did want to give him the chance in Pittsburgh to finally have that final send-off, because if he's going to retire, he might as well retire it in the black and yellow, and the Pittsburgh kid will finally be able to return to the Burgh. With Neil Walker signing, however, we did have to make some certain changes. So Robbie Glendening is not going to see an inning with the Pirates. So unfortunately, this is going to be a guy that is going to end up getting released. We're going to pay off the final $37,500 of his contract into 2021. Also, Will Crow, you're going to be looking at. We ended up designating him for assignment, so he's going to be starting his year with the AAA team. We're going to be taking him off the 40-man roster so we can open up that spot for Neil Walker. Another guy that we are going to mention about, you're going to see, like I said, Will Crow does go to the 40-man roster, but O'Neal Cruz is also going to be sent down to AAA. The guy didn't really get a lot of at-bats in the major leagues. We only really used him for a pinch hitter, but we do have a lot of depth, so in order to make Neil Walker be there, so we had to send down O'Neal Cruz. And finally, talking about game number 2 of the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh series, Pittsburgh is going to end up throwing JT Brubaker for game number 2. They are going to be throwing T. Antone, so hopefully the two can match up. And as you will see, Pittsburgh scratches through with this one, a 3-2 victory for Pittsburgh. So again, no sweep here. We're going to be doing some nice things here. You're going to see in the slash line, it's worth noting, Brian Hayes yet again bouncing back in 5 at-bats, did get 3 hits, collecting 2 RBIs. He did strike out twice, but that's something that we can kind of move past. Brubaker also threw pretty good, but Kyle Crick was absolutely dominant out of the pen. In an inning and 2/3, he struck out 4 of the batters that he faced, so really strong outing for Kyle Crick. Now talking about the prospect highlight for today's video, we're going to be covering Diego Flores. This is a Nicaraguan-born player. We signed him out of free agency, actually, so we did do a little bit of replacing, so you guys will know that we signed him. You will see him in the episode number 1, actually. This is going to be the coverage of his prospect highlight, kind of talk about what we expect from Diego Flores and where we go from there. So we're going to try to make these a little bit frequent in the videos and just kind of cover them real small and real frequent and get a little bit of footage from these guys. Diego Flores is already pretty much a major league ready bat. I'll say that now. 24 years of age. He's a very, very strong player. He has a really good bat. The fielding is a little bit of a worry, but he is just a first baseman, so not like there's a lot of potential there to really get more fielding. It's always nice to have a good fielding first baseman, but it is something that we can move past. We've had people like Pedro Alvarez, Garrett Jones that really weren't the best defenders out over in first base, so Diego Flores could really take strides here. You're going to see 60 across both ways against power on righties and lefties. This is a guy that's going to really, really prosper, hopefully, and maybe come September call-ups could be a guy that we could be already utilizing in our major league roster, or maybe even before, depending on how he takes to the minor leagues and go from there, because this is the guy that we just signed out, and we're going to throw him right into AAA. So what you're going to be seeing now is some footage from AAA, kind of covering some of the highlights and things like that Diego Flores did. I'm not going to lie, there wasn't a whole lot of action, but we're going to cover everything that we can do about him. And jumping in now, we are going to be heading into the first game of our AAA East baseball. Indianapolis Indians getting ready to first the Memphis Redbirds. Again, this is the prospect profile of Diego Flores. So he is in AAA. He's going to be playing some first base for the Indianapolis Indians as he's going to be walking into base here. Diego Flores, something to note about him, he is not the best defensive hitter, but this guy is a major league ready bat for sure. Really, really big pull hitter. You'll see a lot of the defensive sides. A lot of these guys are going to be playing him on shifts and things like this. One good thing that Diego does do is work himself deep into counts. You're going to see a couple at bats here where he does work deep into counts. This one is going to kind of talk about he has such strong hits. Everything really that was off the bat that did go somewhere, you're going to see kind of flew right off the bat. So really good display of just good natural power out of Diego Flores already in AAA doing things like that. You're going to see this one looks like it's going to be a nice gap shot, but it kind of just floats there. One thing that I did notice was he was getting under a lot of pitches. You're going to see a lot of pop-ups here, things like that. This is game number 2, just displaying a couple clutch opportunities that he didn't really capitalize on, that we're going to try to work around and see how he can do. Just really work through everything that we can and really cover a lot of this team, because you're going to see we have a lot of talent on this team, a lot of young people like Travis Swaggerty, Lolo Sanchez, O'Neal Cruz now back in AAA, so he's going to be kind of getting some work down there, and hopefully we'll see him prosper. So Diego Flores, like I said, this is a guy that really, that bat is the selling point of him. Being 24 years old, he has a lot of potential to really have a long career in Pittsburgh if we can keep him going. The biggest thing that is really going to be detrimental to him is going to be the fielding. I think if you're going to see routine ground balls like this, it'll be easy for him, but he has a great eye. You're going to see here 2 balls taken really close on the corners. He does take good. Couple swings and misses in the bat, but that's why he's in AAA. We're still working things out with Diego Flores. I did want to highlight this at bat. This is really where he kind of excels, although he does ground out. I mean, working a full count, fouling off a couple pitches, seeing good life. That's really good to see in a natural hitter here. Also on a 1-2 count, being behind in the count, to be able to drive some power like this home run is. This was off the bat, I believe, at around 107 miles an hour off the bat. So just seeing exit velocity off it like that from a kid so young already. Kind of has that Cabrian Hayes type feel that maybe can really work through the team with us and really be a big part of that team. I mean, right now we have Colin Moran, who just transferred over to first to make room for Cabrian Hayes. So really, where does Diego Flores fit? And that's kind of the question that we're going to be asking ourselves a lot throughout this franchise, is where do some of these prospects fit? Are we going to have to trade some of these guys? So that's really why I want to cover a lot of these prospects and kind of get in depth a little more about the team. I want you guys to really embrace a lot of these young players that are going to be getting called up, things like that, because I'm going to be showing you guys the depth charts right here. Taking a look at the depth charts now, you're going to be seeing just a quick run through of the 2021 to the 2025 slash line of kind of where they're projecting how Diego Flores and some of the other players are going to be developing through our minor leagues. Diego Flores, obviously, we don't have a whole lot of first basemen, but this is a guy that they're projecting to already be in the major leagues off the first sign in 2021. In 2022, he's going to be the backup, and they're already predicting by 2023 that this guy is going to be the starting first baseman for the Pirates. So good upsides. You're going to see just a lot of different things right here. Another good thing to kind of note, and not really a prospect watch, but just seeing how much they're projecting Cabrian Hayes to develop and a lot of the other minor leaguers. You can kind of take a look around, people like Lolo Sanchez and O'Neal Cruz even in the back there, just doing really, really good. So I really do like this new depth chart thing. I know a lot of people are giving it hate, but I think it really gives a good idea of how good these players can be and really how they can excel. And unfortunately, you cannot win them all, so the Reds are going to take the final game in the series. It is going to be 3-1 Reds score. Unfortunately, again, not able to bring home another series like we did against the Cubs. The Reds are going to be one of the better teams. They're going to be moving on to, I believe, 4-1 or 5-1 right now, so they're a really strong team. We were lucky enough to give them their only loss. Chad Cole did pitch pretty good, and the offense, again, was just very, very lackluster. Cabrian Hayes didn't muster a hit. There was only one run that was scored in the 9th inning by a home run from Brian Goodwin. Good news, though, is Kevin Newman is batting over 300, notching 2 hits today as well. So only 5 hits really on the day, 2 of those coming from Goodwin and Newman, so not really looking good. Chad Cole did throw a spectacular game. It was really, really good. 6 innings and a third. Did allow 2 runs, but, I mean, I can kind of let that pass. He only walked 1 person while striking out about a batter an inning, so looking pretty decent was Chad Cole. The ERA does go down to a 2.19, so Chad Cole looking to be one of the better pitchers in our rotation, coming off from some surgeries. And Chris Stratton only went 2/3. He got a strikeout. And then Austin Davis didn't really do the best, let up a lot of hits and kind of a little bit concerning. But we really couldn't face Sonny Gray, throwing 8 1/3, striking out 5, and really just notched a really good game. So Sonny Gray is going to be a pretty big pain in our ass the whole entire season long, I do believe. So hopefully we can talk about that. Let's get right into around the league stuff, and let's wrap up the video. A couple around the league acquisitions. Brett Gardner does go to the Colorado Rockies for Colton Welker, so a very odd one there. The Rockies are also going to be signing Roberto Ozuna, so they're trying to kind of compensate for making up for Nolan Arenado in the trade in the offseason. It kind of looks like filling out Brett Gardner. I don't really agree with that call too much. I think trading for Gardner wasn't really your best intentions, but whatever the cause may be, they're trying to rebuild their team. Taking a look now also at the standings, you are going to see the Reds are sitting atop of the National League Central, ending this video at 5-1 with a nice winning percentage as well. We were able to give them their 1 loss, so good things. They aren't on a really big hot win streak. Also noting Cardinals with Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, and all the other guys are only 1-6 right now, so we're doing pretty good for ourselves, sitting at 3-3. I believe the next video that you guys are going to be seeing is us taking on the San Diego Padres, so we're going to be taking on the Friars in the next video. If you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.